Oh.
Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a little collab. We are taking Lexie lighter and longer.
I said I wasn't going to do it, but I am.
I did it. It's going to be great. So we're going to show you guys the whole process. Stu's video is going to be the highlighting technique, and then my video is going to be toning. So if you're interested in watching both, you can watch them on our channels. And then make sure you're following Lexie on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to put those in the description box so you guys can go follow her. But let's get started on this transformation. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys a little sneak peek of what we did for the technique, but make sure you check out Stu's video for the full thing. He did the highlighting and extensions on his channel, and then over here I'm mainly focusing on toning. So make sure you check that out. It'll be in the description box below. But basically we just did a full highlight with some tipped out ends to brighten her up. She was dark for a few months before this, but if you follow her or you do follow her after this video, you'll see that she goes back and forth, kind of like me, from light to dark. So because she went dark a few months ago, we didn't know how well it would lift. She did use Redken Shades EQ only twice, I think, so we knew it would lift pretty good since it was a demi, but you still never know. So this is how we decided to tackle this transformation, and this is a really great way for the first session to see how the hair lifts, but also leave some dimension. So we're doing kind of like a thicker highlight pattern and then tipping out those ends, and then we're gonna move on to toning. All right, so you can see here she lifted really well. At first she was lifting kind of warm and she had some banding going on, so we stuck her under the dryer for like the last 5 minutes, and even just that 5 minutes under heat just kind of kicked it out, and she lifted really evenly, which is great because you never know with a brunette who lifts unevenly if you're gonna have to do like a root toner, then a mid toner, and an end toner. And honestly, I was planning on doing that with her, but then once I saw this, I was like, oh, we're totally gonna be able to do just a roots and an ends. And the first step of toning that's really important is after you rinse the foils using a clarifying shampoo. This is going to help give us a really clean canvas to tone on because it removes any product buildup, any impurities in the hair. So that's what I'm doing right here. The nice thing about this is we lifted it, so clarifying shampoo isn't going to like strip the color, whereas if we had just done color here, I wouldn't want to use a clarifying shampoo right after that, but since it's lightener, it's just that raw lift, it's just going to give us a really clean canvas to tone on. So I always start my toning processes that way. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing the hair all combed out and raw like this. I love it. So it's nice to comb it out first because then you can be cleaner when you work, and then you also get an accurate idea of where all the highlights are sitting, and you can kind of place where you want your toner around that. So I always either go down the middle and part them down the center, or I go off with their natural part, and then I just kind of take left and right sections. So parted her down the middle, and I'm working from the nape all the way up, working on the left side first, and as you can see, I usually take about 2 or 3 sections at a time. I apply my root formula, and then I comb through. You can use any comb for this, a blending comb, a highlighting comb. Honestly, they all work pretty well. I just have one of our highlighting combs because it was just right there, and it's pretty easy to use. We also have a color brush that has a comb on the end of it, and that's super helpful. But I am doing kind of like a shadowy smudge technique, so I'm kind of smudging in the back where it's a little bit further down, and then around her face I'm going to do more of a shadow where it's further up, where it's brighter around the face. And I'm not going to like tap her mani piece like I would on a blonde. I still want this to be dimensional and have depth and look natural, so I'm going to shadow the mani piece just like I am the rest of the front. I typically like to follow the pattern that we highlighted with, so kind of like following where the foils were, but I also like to follow the curvature of the head. You can see that I'm directing everything back, working where the highlights are, and then combing backwards. I feel like this helps give it that like smudged shadow look where it's like a teardrop where it's lighter in the front and then further down in the back. So that's why I'm directing everything backwards, and I love doing this on brunette hair specifically. So I always section up the front hairline separately and do it last just so it is the brightest, but I told you guys I'm not going to tap and leave it like untouched like I would with like a blonde or maybe someone a little lighter. I'm going to be doing it shadowed, so that's why I still just continued that same pattern towards the front, but I did leave it for last. Then I'm back around to the other side and then just copying those same movements on the right side, working my way up, combing, following the shape of the head, combing backwards, and then I'll do the front again. So with the root toner, I usually let it sit anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes depending on the intensity I'm going for or the look I'm going for. With blondes, it's typically closer to 5 minutes, and with brunettes, it's always closer to 15. So we left it on for 15 minutes, and now I am just going to be rinsing that out and then toning. Sometimes I like to leave the root on with the ends. So sometimes if I'm in a hurry specifically, I'll leave the root on for like 9 minutes, and then at that point, I just add the end toner and then wait the 15 minutes. So that way it all goes together and it goes a little faster. But she was our only client other than our other friend this day, so we had all the time in the world. So I left it on for 15 minutes, and now I am rinsing it and now applying the toner. That toner formula is up on the screen right here. 8VG is one of my favorite things ever. I love, love, love that tone. It's so beautiful, and these levels were perfect for how she lifted. So just put that all over. I reinforced it with purple shampoo and then conditioned, and then we are going to go get her dried.
So I would have done, or like I said, I didn't see it really rinse, but I would have done like 6NB, and you probably did like 7P because you're kind of P's and B's and roots now, and instead of NAs.
I want to know what you would have done.
Oh, I would have done like 6NB and 5N, and maybe like a little 5NA, and then you did a bed too, didn't you?
I don't know, did I?
I mean, I would have. The way it was lifted, girl, it was not cute.
It actually, after we took her out of the dryer, it was really good.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I was thinking we might, but.
And then I would have done on our end Twilight a VG for sure, and like 9VG, 8V, maybe like a GI, and a 9P because I put 9P in everything.
You're pretty close actually.
Really?
So for her root, I did a 4N, 5NA, and a little 7P.
I knew it.
I know. And then her ends I did 8VG, 8N, 9P, and like a teeny bit of 7P just because there were some more numbers.
Does that mean anything to you?
No. You guys sound really smart when you talk about it.
I know, we sound so smart.
So after the color, we added extensions, more info on Stu's page on what colors were used, but we did the J-Tide wefts and they looked so good. We're so happy with the way she lifted and the way this color turned out. Let us know if you guys would like to see more videos like this in the future, more collabs with Stu and I. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.